Shalom to the elect of Yasha Allah. Welcome to GMS Gals in the Streets. I want to give all praises to, all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, whom I worship. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Dash, whom I worship. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, who taught me this word in sincerity and in truth, and who rule well and are still doing the work out there on the in the highways and byways, risking their life even unto death. All right, to push this word. All right. Salutations to all the Akium throughout the world associated with GMS and not associated with GMS, but that teach in the spirit of GMS, in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, I'm Elder Sakaran, and today's lesson is going to be on war in heaven. Esau is preparing, brothers. He's definitely, definitely something going on, and I believe that it's a they've been seeing probably a high influx of chariot sightings, and the Esau's getting scared. They're getting scared, man. So they're preparing, and what it is the Lord, making them do it, making them prepare for what's about to come, which is the end of Esau's world, the end of Esau's society as we know it, and the beginning of his society, his holy society, which is also known as the kingdom of heaven, and it will be established on earth. So this is a article on RT, and it reads, title reads, at Pentagon, Pence pushes for Space Force by 2020. And that's not far away. That's 2 years from now. Or actually half of this year is gone already, so about a year and a half from now, right? And this article came out today. As a matter of fact, it says published the 9th of August, you know. And it reads, the Trump administration wants to establish the Space Force as the sixth branch of the U.S. military by 2020. Vice President Mike Pence said, warning about threats from Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran. The time has come to establish the real reason. That's what they say. The real reason is they want to be prepared when the angels come in those in the holy chariots. All right, which are known by Esau as the UFOs. To us, they are identifiable flying objects because in the Bible it explains what they are. So they're trying to get ready to fight against them when they come. The whole ID4 thing. Okay, they didn't make that movie for nothing. They believe that they will win that war, and they are sadly mistaken, brothers. Okay, like it says in Obadiah, man, his about his pomp. His pomp. I'm sorry, Isaiah the 14th chapter about his pomp being brought down to hell, to the grave, man. It says the Trump administration wants to establish the Space Force as the sixth branch of the U.S. military by 2020. Vice President Mike Pence said, warning about threats from Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran. The time has come to establish the United States Space Force, Pence said at the Pentagon on Thursday, invoking the specter of foreign threats to the U.S. satellite infrastructure. Other nations are seeking to disrupt our space-based systems and challenge American supremacy in space as never before, the vice president said. Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran are pursuing weapons to jam, blind, and disable our navigation and communication satellites via electronic attacks from the ground, he said, and accused them of working to bring new weapons of war into space itself. Yeah, the real reason into space itself is to fight against the holy angels when they come. That's the real reason. It says both China and Russia have been conducting highly sophisticated on-orbit activities that could enable them to maneuver their satellites into close proximity of ours, posing unprecedented new dangers to our space systems, Pence said. According to the vice president, Russia is developing airborne lasers to disrupt our space based systems, while China has the capability to destroy satellites with missiles. America will always seek peace in space as on the earth, but history proves that peace. But Esau, you're not a man of peace. You're a man of destruction. You're a bloody man. You're a man of war. Okay, and that was your blessing. Isaac gave your father, Esau, the blessing to rule with the sword and to gain power over the earth by way of the sword. That's your blessing. And it reads, America will always seek peace in space as on the earth, but history proves that peace only comes through strength. And in the realm of outer space, the United States Space Force will be that strength in the years ahead, Pence said. President Donald Trump issued a directive in June to begin preparations for creating the Space Force as a separate branch of the U.S. military, along with the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. In order for this to happen, Congress has to amend Title 10 of the United States Code. Defense Secretary James Mattis recently called Pence the point man on setting up the Space Force and suggested establishing a separate space combatant command force. Command first. It reads, rather than building up a space force from scratch, the Pentagon will take individuals and units working on space programs in the Air Force and other branches, with the objective of having the United States Department of the Space Force by 2020. Trump is obviously a fan of the new branch, tweeting Space Force all the way as Pence spoke. The president's critics in the resistance absolutely hate the idea, however, arguing that the budget could be better spent on health care, rebuilding Puerto Rico, clean water in Flint, immigrant children, fighting fires, and Russian cyber attacks, or much anything else. It says even if everything goes smoothly on the political and military fronts, there are still legal and technical obstacles to the Trump-Pence vision of a U.S. Space Force, namely the Outer Space Treaty, to which the U.S. has been party since 1967, bans states from testing any weapons in outer space or establishing military bases on the moon and other celestial bodies. It also prohibits deployment of any weapons of mass destruction in Earth's orbit. The U.S. has unilaterally withdrawn from treaties before, however. The second and more pressing problem is the lack of U.S. space capability. The civilian space agency, NASA, discontinued the Space Shuttle program in 2011, leaving the Russian Soyuz as the only class of spaceships capable of delivering human crews to the International Space Station. The United Launch Alliance, a joint venture between Lockheed Martin and Boeing, relies on Russian rocket engines for their Atlas launchers, and Russia has threatened to embargo their delivery. In the wake of the newest U.S. sanctions, um, SpaceX, which has successfully launched Dragon cargo capsules on board their semi-reusable Falcon 9 rockets, has yet to start testing a manned version. All right, so that was that article, and of course, I got some scriptures. So this is Revelation, the 12th chapter, and the 7th verse. Okay, and it reads, "And there was war in heaven." This is really why they getting ready. Uh, that's why they want this space force in outer space by 2020, because they feel that this war is very close, and it is a clear and present danger. The chariots of the Lord are a clear and present danger to Esau and his military, and to all the militaries of the world. But this is a one world order, so it involves all nations. Okay, with the U.S. in the forefront, and it says, "And there was war in heaven," and it reads, "And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels." Now, Michael, that's the captain of the Lord's host, of Yahweh's host, of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh's army. All right, that's Mayaka'Allah, the mighty angel. All right, and one of the archangels of the Lord. Okay, he's coming with the rest of the angels, and they're gonna be fully girded. All right, ready for war to fight against this devil, against Esau. Okay, and his angels fought. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. The dragon is speaking about Esau. Okay, speaking about uh, NATO. Okay, um, the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, which is all of Esau's uh, um, power structure. Okay, that's the dragon. NATO's the dragon. The United States military. All right, all these Edomites militaries, man. That's part of the dragon, and the dragon fought in his angels, and his angels represent, their militaries and their their warplanes, that they will, their jets that they will have, their bombers, their stealth bombers, and whatever other newly created um, jets, fighter jets they have out there. Okay, they gonna they have that cloaking technology now. They could have a jet out there and have some kind of cloaking device where you won't even see it, man. Esau got a lot of shit, but that's nothing compared to the angels. Okay, first of all, Esau's fighter jets cannot go as fast as the chariots of the Lord can. All right, that's been documented. That's been proven. They cannot disappear. Esau's fighter jets cannot disappear and reappear. Okay, they cannot expand and contract, man, in mid-flight. Understand? They can't do that. So Esau's in for a rude awakening, and Esau has bit off more than he could chew. But it's the Lord overall that's making him do that. Remember what the Lord did to Pharaoh. Like it says in Romans the 9th chapter, right, from the 13th verse on down, the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and made Pharaoh's heart like a flintstone, man, hard. And the new pharaohs, or the new Egyptians today, are who? Esau, the Edomites. Okay, and he's gonna harden their heart, and make them fight him. All right, that's what the Lord's gonna do. And then it reads on. It says, and the dragon fought in his angels and prevailed not. So that means Esau's military did not prevail. They were not successful. All right, there wasn't no damn ID4, where Esau came out as the victors. Okay, it was the other way around. The holy angels won this battle. All right, Michael and his holy angels and his holy military, angelic military, are gonna win this battle. Okay, so sorry to upset you, Esau, but that's it, man. You're gonna get your ass handed to you, man, by the holy angels. All right, by our Lord and the holy angels. Let me say, and it says, and they and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. Meaning, where Esau is at now, the so-called white man, where he's at now, he's in his heaven. All right, he has enjoyed the pleasures and all the riches and all the goodness of the earth and of all peoples. Okay, he conquered, he raped, robbed, and murdered the whole planet Earth. He got what he wanted. Okay, and then the Lord's gonna come and take them out, destroy them, and then there will be no, you won't find Esau anymore in the kingdom of heaven. According to prophecy, they'll be in captivity under us for a period of 1,000 years, and then after that, they will be totally burnt up, according to the book of Obadiah. All right, and it says, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. Right, no place found for Esau anymore in in heaven. In other words, they're gonna get knocked out of their power seat, so to speak. All right, now we go into the Apocrypha, Second Ezra, the 13th chapter. Second Ezra, the 13th chapter, the first verse, and it reads, "And it came to pass, after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven." What man waxed strong? That was talking about Yahushua, our Lord, with Michael, the captain of his host, right by his side, and in the holy chariots on their way to planet Earth, man, to uh, to bring on a slaughter, all right, to Esau and all his militaries, okay, and to all the militaries that join Esau to fight against the Lord on that day. And it says the thousands of heaven, man. Millions millions of angels coming. All right, thousands of angels coming to take part in this, man. And they've been patiently waiting, all right, to get a piece of Esau's ass, man. All right, and it says, and when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. That was dealing with the Lord. That's talking about the Lord, Yahushua. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. Right, and that's pretty much talking about the chariot shooting like laser beams, man, and burning Esau up, burning his jet fighters up, his military up. Okay. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew upon it. It's talking about the chariot. It wasn't no mountain. It was a talk. It's talking about. It's talking about a great big fathership, man. Okay, that Yahushua was on, and he was. It was in it. He was flying with it. All right, and it says, but I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven or cut out, and I could not. Yeah, Ezra's look, but what it wasn't, because it wasn't from Earth. This vehicle that he was flying in was not of Earth. It was a spiritual vehicle. Okay, also known as the chariots of the Lord. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet there's fight. So Esau, his militaries, and all the nations and their militaries, when they got together, all right, to fight against Yahushua and the holy angels, they were afraid, man, because they saw the magnificent power that the angels possessed. All right, but they still fought because the Lord hardened their hearts, just like he did to Pharaoh and his military, right? When they were chasing us out of Egypt, okay? Verse 9, it says, "And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as there had been a blast of fire," that was talking about from the chariots, a laser beam, man, great big laser beam, all right? "And out of his lips a flaming breath," same thing. "And out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests," same thing. "And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest. and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived. There was no one left after that, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So even Ezra seen this in the vision. He's seen the end. He's seen Esau and his militaries, the nations with their militaries getting burnt up by the Lord, by Yahushua and the holy angels. And it reads, 12th verse, afterward saw I the same man come down from the mountain, meaning he came out of the chariot, and call unto him another peaceable multitude. That peaceable multitude is the same multitude as St. John saw in the book of Revelation, the 7th chapter. All right, the 144,000, and the rest of the 1/3 that were predestinated to be saved. Okay. And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, and some of them were bound, and other some brought up them that were offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and I was awaked and said, Thou hast showed thy servant these wonders from the beginning, and hast counted me worthy that thou shouldest receive my prayer. So Ezra saw what happened, man. He pretty much, it made him sick because it was a vision, but it was vivid. He was actually like there. Okay, so that's a beautiful thing, man. You know, if you weaken the faith, man, you want to get strength. You read these prophecies right here, man. Prophecy. Well, this is the year of prophecy. Okay, so this is what we're all about, man. GMS. All right. This is the book of Jude. Uh, um, the 14th verse. Let's see. All right, so 1 and 14, it says, And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints. The 10,000s of saints is talking about the holy angels, okay? And they're about to come, okay? It says, 15th verse, to execute judgment upon all, upon all who ain't right, the 2/3, Esau and the other nations, all right, to execute judgment upon all and to convince all that are ungodly. And Esau, you're the most ungodly man on this planet Earth. Among them, of all their ungodly deeds, and Esau, you have committed much and many ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, and all of their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. So